All right, then. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Josh. Welcome back to Dead Men Streaming Fallout 76. And again, we are back with the daily weekly challenges for Fallout 76. This time for the week of October the 21st, going through October the 28th. Listen, this is about the time I'd make something sarcastic or chaotic or, complain about living in West Virginia. I don't have time to this month because holy crap. All right, so let's talk about why I'm standing next to a special card. This is the first thing you're going to get hit with when you log in. If you're like me and your builds are largely built around convenience as much as they are DPS and survivability. Let's take a fast look. Because what they've done is they've moved Good with Salt, the perk card that grants you the ability to have your food spoil less, from luck to intelligence. And if you are like me and you have a build for rifles and pistols and automatic melee and two-handed melee and heavy guns and shotguns and camping, I think I covered everything. Where that particular perk card sits in luck, you're out of it. Have fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, let's talk about the other thing. This update brings with us an update. We got a mini season. For those of you who aren't familiar how the mini seasons work, they're basically a season within a season. I know I love it when things are simple. So, you'll be sent over to this screen once you go to your seasons menu. You'll have a list of things you can choose from, and they, like everything else, cost tickets. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to do anything special to unlock these. You just have to show up with tickets in hand, and you have to unlock them in order. But you're not just spending the tickets you've earned so far in the game. And I will say some of these look pretty cool. You will earn these back should you so choose to put in a little bit of extra effort. And I'm going to tell you all about that effort, but before I do, let me show you one thing you're going to have to keep in mind for this. You'll notice I'm wearing the Thrasher outfit, which not my go-to when I'm out of my power armor, but I'm doing it because it counts as a costume. A lot of the mini season requirements this time will make you wear a costume. So, any piece of clothing that is marked as costume when you inspect it, well, there you go. Have fun with that. All right, now here's the good news. After much complaining, they did change it so that if you are at least wearing a costume inside your power armor, it counts. So, if you're like me and you do 90% of your running and gunning in this game in a suit of armor that's made to look up like a tank, well, you're not completely left out in the cold, which was the point of putting on a tank's worth of armor, anyways. So, let's go ahead and talk about this mini season. So, for this, you're going to need to come to challenges, then events, and here we go. Build a candy bowl and give out candy from your camp. All right, very simple. You place a candy bowl item that you will find in your build menu. It's under resources, I think. Put it down. People will have to come to your camp and pick candy out of it. They do, you get credit for it. You have to do that 5 times for 40 tickets or once for 5. Then you also have to go out and do Trick or Treat Challenge, which is when you are sent out to go do that. And for the life of me, huh, I don't know. I must be blind because there it is. Trick or Treat. Uh, it had to scroll down. All right, so you will also have to trick or treat from other players' candy bowls at least 3 times, or apparently 15 times. When does this part refresh? I don't know. We'll find out. All right, moving on from that. Collect a human skull or skull part while wearing a costume. There are a lot of places to go get human skulls. Bone chimes, I mean, you can find them in caves, you can find them in research labs, just about a lot of places. Having said that, your best bet is going to be running through a super mutant stronghold like West Tech or Huntersville or the General Steakhouse because super mutants drop human bones, skulls being one of them. That's how I'm going to approach this challenge is to run through just mountains of super mutants. Now, the next one, little harder, and I want to give my sincerest thanks to Duchess Flame, DuchessFlame, who is another Fallout 76 content creator. On her Facebook page, she has detailed an extensive, and I do mean extensive list of places you can go to find scalpels or surgical scalpels out in the world. I'm going to tell you the two best places to go pick them up. The first one is if you happen to go to Arctos Pharma, then go downstairs, find the biolab. It's where the event Natural Pastimes takes place. I think I finally got it right. And just look at all of the research labs. You will find a bunch of scalpels in there. If you don't find enough there, head over to Ella Ames' bunker, which is right here, and you'll find a bunch of them here as well. Ignore the reminder you hear in the background. I also play Pokemon Go. All right. This is not my fault. The patch was late today, okay? I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Now, I accidentally clicked out of 76, so I have to wait a second for it to load before I can tell you what to look for next. But that's largely the bulk of it, and that's largely the most difficult parts. So again, build a candy bowl, and somebody has to come get candy. Collect human skulls or skull parts, run through super mutants. Collect a scalpel or surgical scalpel, go to the Arctos Pharma Biolab, and go over to Ella Ames' bunker. Your two best locations for those. Moving on from that, complete give out candy and trick or treat challenges. We've discussed that. Um, complete that 4 times. I'm assuming two this week and two next week is my assumption of how that's going to work. For an extra smooth under tickets, craft a melee weapon while wearing a costume. Okay, go to a weapon bench and make 15 melee weapons. Not hard. Cripple a human limb while wearing a costume. All right, little more annoying, but again, not exactly difficult. Go find humans, shoot them in the arm, the chest, the legs, or the head, and do so in a way that cripples them. What more can I tell you? You are looking for blood eagles, you are looking for raiders, and you are looking for cultists. So any place you see a blood eagle icon like Ripper Alley, Cliffwatch, Pigsty, Killbox, Canova County Cemetery, Clancy Manor, Point Pleasant, the Crosshair, any place along those lines, go, go shoot them in the leg. Do Arnie from Terminator 2. Go shoot them in the leg. But you're going to have to pick up quite a few of those, so get hunting. Or, of course, you can also do one of my favorite events to do is to run up and do any of the expeditions. Atlantic City and the Pit both have expeditions that are full of human enemies that you should be able to cripple in both. All right, moving on because we got a bunch of these to cover. Kill Spooky Scorched while wearing a costume. All right, Spooky Scorched are back. If you are a new player, here's what you need to listen for. You need to listen for somebody who sounds like they're on crack playing a theremin. And you're going to get this woo, woo, just really high pitched, obnoxious sound. And it's great because you are looking for Scorched wearing costumes themselves. Flatten them. They will be legendary. You will get bonus points. Well, by points, I mean bonus loot for flattening them. And where do you go to find them? There are all kinds of guides on ways to farm and go do circles of everything and just get all these. Whenever I have to do an event like this, me being the blow guy that I am, I visit fissure sites. These two specifically, Prime and this one. You'll get 2 fissures worth of Scorched here, a handful of Scorched around Glass Cavern. You get another pack of them over here at this one. I also make trips up through, and I do run through, and I'm going to hate myself for telling you guys this, Palace of the Winding Path when guided meditation isn't active. I also make regular runs through Wavy Willard's Water Park, and Morgantown Airport is loaded with them. Plus, you can find a bunch of surgical scalpels in the back. Look in the medic area of the responders camp, and you'll find enough scalpels to clear you through that challenge. I also like to run through Camden Park. Any of the fissures really will pick you up a decent number as you play the game throughout the week. Just letting you know. And that is it for that. So just keep that in mind. Fissure sites, handful of special locations. Oh, the other one that I really like to do, again, I'm going to hate myself for putting this out there. White powder, it's only got like 4 or 5 scorched, but I always have good luck there. And it's also right next door to Bolton Greens, which has a lot of scorched in it. And you can usually pick up, I don't know, my luck is between 2 and 5 a run. All right, let's actually talk about the weekly challenges. And I wish we didn't have to, because we have to claim 3 workshops this week. And I don't like doing that. It was fun when it first happened. As a reminder, anytime you claim one of these, you are initiating PvP, and somebody is well within their gaming rights to come over and put one in the back of your head. So just keep that in mind. Moving on from there, collect ballistic ammo. So this one's not hard. You're just relying on the contextual ammo system. So have a gun that shoots bullets, and you'll be good. I really don't have anything else to add to that. Collecting garden gnomes. We're back to this challenge. Could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Where do we go for 5 garden gnomes? We go to Huntersville, and we look to our immediate right. After we come in, there will be a super mutant on top of a concrete wall. Blow him up. On the road, you'll then see a dog and another super mutant, blow them up. But look to your immediate right. There will be a house with a very small, what looks to be like 3 foot by 3 foot garden with a shack. Go into the shack, you'll find a bunch of gnomes. You'll also find a handful of gnomes in the back of the General Steakhouse. Pick them up over there, you'll be good. Now, moving on from that, collect a lighter, cigarette, or cigar. If you want to get your kill a human enemy while you're crippling human limbs and pick up that, and probably pick up ballistic ammo while you're at it, I would recommend running an expedition. Again, for me, for this one, Boardwalk is the place to be, because what you don't get from loot, you will get at the very end once you complete the most sensational game at the reward pile. Barring that, if you are lazy, just come over to one of the stations, come over to a medical supplies vending machine, and buy some cigarettes. They're right next to the Mentats and the Rad-X. Take that for what you will. Moving on. All right. Craft 35 fish bits. That means you actually have to fish this time, so good luck going fishing. Moving on from there. Craft or scrap clothing, armor, or weapon. Don't rush this one. You will, between killing human enemies, between hunting spooky scorched, between flattening super mutants for human bones, you'll clear that so fast. It's not even going to be funny. Kill a human enemy. We just talked about where to go for that. Eat a vegetable. Go to the General Steakhouse, because you'll find a lot of vegetables in the back of the General Steakhouse, along with your gnomes. In addition to that, you'll also find a bunch of vegetables up and around the Morgantown Airport, because in the back, somewhere back in here, you'll find a small pumpkin farm. So, vegetables. You can also find them at various farms scattered across Appalachia. Moving on from there, that is it for the weekly challenges. Now, let's talk about the ones that are going to give me consternation. Harvest corn, razor grain, or a potato plant. Again, how many times do I have to say it? Go to the General Steakhouse. Throw on green thumb if you really want to get it over with fast. All right. Collecting a burnt book for the daily is just rude. Places for burnt, and I say this because everybody's going to go to the same location, and honestly, it's why I logged onto a private server so I can go knock this out. Go to Somersville, There is a small house around the 87A sign. It's got a couple of ghouls in it, but it's got like 250 burnt books. Loot to your heart's content. Also, pay a visit to places like Morgantown High School, or even Vaultech University, or basically everywhere. But picking up 10 of them is just going to be annoying. It really is. Another good spot for them is at Rapidan Camp. If you're not bored with Rapidan Camp, which is I just love saying that name. Um, if you're not completely bored with seeing this from Mischief Knife for the last 2 weeks, pop over to Rapidan Camp and then pop into the Brown House and then go loot happy because there are books all over this place along with a bunch of other scrap. Moving on. Let's see. Craft a grenade, mine, or thrown weapon. It's there in the title. So yeah, you're on your own for that one. Complete an event, or any event you see, go complete one. If you claim a workshop, stick around for the defend it afterwards, and that'll take care of that. Cripple a ghoul's leg. All right, find ghouls and shoot them in the leg. The same thing you're going to be doing with humans this time around. And also, I have one thing. Did I pick a lock as well? All right, so two places you can go to easily knock this one out. Freddy's House of Scares has, I don't know, something like half a dozen different locks to pick, plus ghouls, sometimes a Wendigo, sometimes a glowing one, or Appalachian Antiques down here, right next to Watoga. That's got a bunch of ghouls that wander around in it, plus a Wendigo or a glowing one, and at least one lock safe behind the counter. So, two very easy places to pick those updates up at. All right, sell a glowing fungus soup to an NPC vendor. Glowing fungus is everywhere. Just just look for it. Look for it around. If you are really struggling for glowing fungus soup, uh, look in this area. Follow this river down. So, the river that runs by the Southern Belle Motel, Dyer Chemical, Crevasse Dam, you'll pick up a bunch of glowing fungus, and then just make it with cooking station and one boiled water. Now, the final one is one I'm not happy to see, and that is kill 3 Radstack. First of all, boo. Second of all, there's they wander, and there's not a lot of them. Now, you can pick them up in various events, like natural selection, if it's active in the game, and I don't know if it's currently active or not because they run the public events on a weekly schedule, and who knows. You can find them between Scalbo Vantage and the Seneca Rocks Visitor Center. You can find herds of them wandering around Hemlock Holes and just this area in general. Used to be able to find them around Colonel Kelly Monument until a bunch of us exploited spawns there, and we're not going to talk about that. You can find them just randomly through the forest and other places. If I was going to re-roll any challenge this week, it would be this one. Because I honestly think that I see radstags out in the wild about maybe once every 2 weeks. And I sort of have to be killing time for that to happen. All of that said, you have a lot to do this week, so good luck, good hunting. Build your candy bowl and give out candy from your camp. Flatten super mutants until you get human skulls and skull parts. Run Westtuck. You'll likely pick up enough of that in one shot. Also, run Westtuck because you'll likely find several scalpels and surgical scalpels. And what you don't there, run to Ella Ames Bunker in the mire. And then, if you still are missing some, run to the Arcos Pharma Biolab located at Arcos Pharma located in the forest. Complete a give out candy challenge, so you do actually have to be on a public server for that one. Have fun. Same thing with Trick or Treat. Do it 4 times, which I'm pretty sure is going to cycle through this week, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll find out. Uh, and get a bunch of tickets. Craft a melee weapon while wearing a costume. Okay. Cripple a human limb while wearing a costume. Go do an expedition. Kill Spooky Scorched. Look for fissure sites. Drop a nuke on the Scorched Beast Queen. Visit the Palace of the Winding Path. Visit Wavy Willard's Water Park. Visit Bolton Greens. Visit White Powder Winter Sports. Take a stroll up, down, and through the Pleasant Valley Ski Resort. Like I said, the Fissure sites. Prime is a great spot for them. Um, and then good luck. You can also, I think, you can find a bunch in Sutton. Well, I mentioned that as a location. Helvetia, too. Well, I've got my. Sorry, Summersville, while you're looking for burnt books. But, anyways, that's the long and short of it this week, guys. Good luck, good hunting. You're going to need it. And I'll see you all again next week. By the way, if you like what I'm doing, I know it's not the flashiest channel out there. It doesn't have super huge ending screens or logos or special music or second takes. Those follows do mean a lot, and I appreciate it. So, thank you so much. See you all again soon.